Hey everyone, this is Aaron Greenberg from Team Xbox. I'm excited to be coming to you here live from my kitchen. I'm drinking nonstop drinks out of the world's fastest, most powerful fridge. We're moments away from a huge Inside Xbox. First, I want to let you know, a lot of people have been wondering, what are we doing this summer? Well, we're not
the fridge in the background.
Teams cannot wait to deliver new games, new reveals, new news for you. So it's time to get
They're
hyped.
Accepting the meme.
You're going to see today.
I love it.
First ever
Xbox is a much more self-aware company than it used to be.
Partners around the world. Damon Baker and Sarah Bond, who lead our partnership team, have brought some of the best developers and creative teams to the table.
That's
They're going to be
so
joined
funny.
by Jeff, Katarina, and Malik. Team Xbox coming in strong. It's an exciting day. We know fans have been waiting for this, but also we know you're wondering what's going on with Xbox Game Studios. You guys have 15 creative teams now around the world. You blew us away at XO19. You blew us away at the Game Awards with Hellblade 2. We know you've got more.
Can't wait for Hellblade.
And with that, I want to welcome the head of Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booty, to tell us a little more.
Thanks, Aaron, and hi, everybody. I want to start by saying that our first concern is really with the safety of our teams and, of course, their families. And that's why they are all working from home right now, whether it's in Sweden, the UK, Canada, or the US. And I've really been impressed with the ingenuity and the creativity that they've shown to get around some of the challenges of working from home and to keep production moving forward on our great lineup of games.
What, Nitro?
So, we're excited.
The Hellblade 2 cinematic was...
Gameplay from
I love that game. Hellblade was so good.
In July.
I'm really excited about that sequel.
Our newer studios like Double Fine, Ninja Theory.
I think they're going to try to make that Xbox's God of War.
Whoa, Matt, it feels
and they should.
I might have left some off the list there.
Yeah, and Aaron, also 343 and Halo.
That's right. It's time to get hyped. Halo's coming. Halo Infinite. You've been waiting. The world's most anticipated game. July. Mark your calendars. Xbox Game Studios. We've got teams around the world that are working on big surprises, big reveals for you. I could not be more excited. I can tell you we're going to work
July
every
conference
week between now and then
where they show
fans. But today we're going to put the spotlight
exclusive games is going to be make or break for Xbox.
Like.
They've done everything well. They've got to bring the games. The new startup sound. Hey, what up, Ike? How you doing, sir? Crisis. Right? Or not. Cool.
What you just witnessed was Bright Memory Infinite from Playism, created from the ground up by a single individual at FYQD Studio in China. Developers are using the hardware to achieve their dreams and their nightmares in amazing ways, using the power to optimize their games the way they want, higher resolutions, crazy frame rates, ray tracing, and yes, faster in-game load times.
It's like an Unreal 4
awesome to
example.
See the support for smart delivery, ensuring that fans only have to purchase the game once to enjoy it on whichever Xbox system they own or will own in the future. So, over the next 25 minutes, we're going to debut just a slice of the amazing next-gen games you can expect from our partners this holiday and early next year. And because we read the interwebs, everything you see here will highlight the in-game experience, with actual gameplay captured in-engine to give you the best sense of what to expect when Xbox Series X launches later.
Unfortunately ruined by YouTube's streaming compression.
And enjoy the following dreams
Still
being
be cool,
powered
though.
by Xbox.
It's just 25 minutes of really fast loading times. Cool. I don't think I've cared about racing games since like Forza 2. But if you're into that. Ugh. Oh. Is this a demo of the Cyberpunk customizable genitalia? That's a wiener. I think that's one too. This is so sexual. Streaming. Yeah, I got you. Scorn. Oh, yeah, dripper. That's fine. What's that? Sorry, no, seriously. What did you say?
Together, we built order out of chaos. Each trial, each tribulation, we have overcome. Now we live in an age of unprecedented peace. We have prevailed thanks to her.
F-Zero or something.
Let her ascension
Reboot.
serve as proof of our righteousness. It is in her honor that we strive for chorus.
This ends with us.
There hasn't been a space combat game in quite a while that I've cared about. They have to be pretty good. The Ace Combat does flying games well.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for letting me crash the show.
Oh boy,
This is Patrick
Kermit the
Mahomes,
Frog.
Quarterback to the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. I hope all of y'all been staying home, staying safe, and playing a ton of video games together. But hey, I'm here because I have the privilege of telling you this. Madden 21 is coming to Xbox Series X, and I can't wait to get my hands on it.
No
It's a journey
way.
that's older than me, and I was lucky enough to be a part of it this year. Like they say, you have to know where you've been to know where you're about to go.
I remember that. That old game was sweet. What up, Eastwood? I haven't played the newest one, Eastwood. I've heard it's awesome though. The problem with those games, Ace Combat games, are like way harder than people would think. Yeah, I've wanted to check it out. I haven't played a Madden game since like 12. I always preferred the college games because it was, people don't realize that Madden and the old college games were basically RPGs. They were
There's loads
bro
of Madden 21
RPGs.
news coming soon. And the game isn't just about what you can see, it's about what you can feel. But here's the best news. When you buy Madden NFL 21 on Xbox One, you get it free on Xbox Series X. I'm looking forward to it, and honestly,
I hate that they
I'm
keep
ready to
saying
get
it's
back
like
on the field.
free, because
Enjoy
it's
the
not.
rest of the
It's
show
just,
and get ready to feel next level with EA
you
Sports.
just have a better system, like the 1 to 1X. But whatever, it's fine. It doesn't hurt anything.
Huge thanks to EA for giving us that sneak peek at Madden 21 optimized.
It's
for
just not a
Xbox
new
Series
gen, really.
X. I mean, that was awesome.
Hello,
So
Nest.
my name is Sarah Bond, and I lead partnerships for Xbox, which means I get to work with the
Sure.
thousands of developers and creators around the globe that are creating games on, with, and for Microsoft platforms. I just love my job because it's all about connecting creators and publishers with our fans around something that they
It is kind of
love.
weird that she
Games.
left
And
that
boy,
basket.
have they been busy. They are creating right
Sure, there's
now
only a few people
games that are
watching.
gonna define the generation, experiences that are just going to blow your mind away. And I am thrilled to share with you that every major publisher worldwide is developing for Xbox. And we already have hundreds of games coming to Xbox Series X in 2021. The support, it is just...
This reminds me of some of those stupid headlines of
I've never seen partners as
Sony
excited
PlayStation
about
5
Xbox and
third-party
Xbox
games will be
Series
shown on
X as they are
Xbox Inside.
right now.
It's like,
So why don't we take a look and see more of the
So
great
lame.
games that they have been working on.
No, there were some like the vampire games. Yeah, I thought this was gonna be. I wonder if it's a sequel to one of the old vampire games. Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade is exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, I figured. Cool. Bloodlines 2. Because that was like an RPG-ish kind of game, wasn't it?
Oh, Harry. What have you done?
These are all fairly small studios.
I've traveled so very far to find.
I'm assuming they're going to leave the AAA studios for the end.
How strange that your trail ends here.
It seemed I did, but it wasn't Batman. It was seemed like it could have been a Joker thing though.
Left. I was withering away. But here, on this extraordinary isle, I dare say I've found my strength again.
This reminds me of The Long Dark.
I feel the call of something deep within. Whispers of things long forgotten. Will we be forgotten too?
Yeah, I never played the first Bloodlines.
What did you find here?
I thought I remembered it being pretty well, like, thought of. Call of the Sea. Out of the blue.
This is, or was, the Ascent Group main metropolis. Like you, most people have contracted their entire lives away to get here. Workers or indents, slaves in all but name.
Cyberpunk knockoff. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Huh? A sequel should be cool for that then.
This is a crisis supernova. The Ascent Group has collapsed. We have a shot at true independence. I won't let it go to waste.
We wish to test your abilities by giving you a special assignment.
A Diablo type game.
Find out what happened.
It's like Cyberpunk Diablo. It's kind of cool.
We're together on this one. Let's get it done.
The Ascent. That actually looks kind of sweet. The problem is though, a game like that, I would never play on a console. That would be a PC game for me all day. The start of that music was way too, like, happy. Oh, that art reminds me of Oh, what was that movie where the chick was cursed, and at the end she gets pulled into the railroad tracks, into hell? I forget what that was called. Dark and Brooding, Series X.
So stay tuned.
Drag Me into Hell? That's what I'm thinking of. Drag Me to Hell. It's a dark-ass movie. This reminds me of the segments of Hellblade, where you have to shift the world to get through puzzles. I mean, getting Bandai Namco to do any game that's going to be on Xbox can't hurt. But yeah, the variety's good, Nitro. That's what they need. Turok. Jesus. Okay. Sure. I'll dismember me some Yakuza. Dino Day. It's like one of those series that I know I should care, but I've just never even touched it. Well, isn't it the fact that it's just this like giant game with so much to do? It's the impression I was always under. I just remember that they're like just like the most ridiculous games. Nothing like a little orbital strike in your Yakuza game.
こんにちは、セガの名越俊弘です。いよいよこの発表ができる日が、参りました。シリーズの最新作であるヤクザライクアドラゴンを、Xbox シリーズ X のローンチタイトルとして、そして Xbox One や、Windows 10で、発売する運びとなりました。全世界のファンはもちろんですね、初めてこのタイトルを手にする
time exclusive.
楽しんでいただきたいなというふうに
I can't imagine that Sega's gonna put
ゲームの
a game. I mean, if this was an exclusive, they would be
新たなる挑戦を
highlighting it heavily that it's exclusive.
に考えております。ヤクザライクアドラゴンをぜひよろしくお願いします。
I hope you all enjoyed this brief peek at just some of the titles we have lined up for Xbox Series X. This is just the beginning. And personally, I can't wait to get immersed in these amazing games. But until then, I'm just going to have to live out that fantasy via custom backgrounds in Microsoft Teams. How about I try out a few now? Maybe we'll go into the world of Scarlet Nexus, or maybe I could tear up the streets in Dirt 5, or Well, here's a quick view of Phil Spencer's home office. Oh, wait a second. We've got this inside look at the next Assassin's Creed game. So with that, I'm going to leave you with the gameplay debut of the highly anticipated Assassin's Creed Valhalla for Xbox Series X. Huge thanks to all of our partners for their hard work during these difficult times, and to you at home for joining us. Stay tuned to go behind the scenes with a few of the creators of today's lineup and hear more about their thoughts on the next generation of game development. I'll see you later this summer for even more content premieres and announcements from Xbox Game Studios and our partners worldwide. Thanks so much.
This is a pretty cool get for them to be able to show this. That's pretty cool. Odin.
Few titles command the respect and fandom that the Assassin's Creed series has garnered, and today we get to talk about Assassin's Creed Valhalla with its creative director, Ashraf Ismail, who's joining us from Montreal, Canada. Bienvenue to Inside Xbox.
Hey, Jeff. Pleasure to be here.
I'm so glad that you're here because I'm a huge fan of the series. After seeing the video that we just saw, I have literally hundreds of questions to ask you. But before we get into Valhalla itself, did I just see new Assassin's Creed gameplay for the first time?
Yeah, absolutely. That was directly from the game in all its Viking Age glory.
Let's talk about the Viking Age because Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Origins, these took place in antiquity. They were sun-drenched Mediterranean places, and this looks very different. It's different time, different place. So what do you have for us with the Viking Age?
Yeah, so the Viking Age, it's named after one of history's most notorious warrior cultures. And this time period is highlighted by the invasion of England by this very large, hungry Viking horde. And at the time, England was a dark age tangle of broken warring kingdoms. So this was an absolutely brutal, pivotal moment in history that gave us the birth of the England we know today. So players can expect to fully live the Viking fantasy in a meticulously crafted journey in an Assassin's Creed world.
All right, so let's get a little bit more into this. There was a lot to take in that clip that we saw. I saw Viking longships. I saw some very mean-looking axes. Previously, we saw a hidden blade. So let's talk about some of the key new features that you're bringing to the table with Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, so our hero, Eivor, is a Viking raider who's going to leave the snowy mountains of Norway for the lush rolling hills of England, propelled by the goal of settling their people and growing a thriving settlement. Now, England at this time is a hostile place. So to succeed, players will go raiding using their longships and raiding party. They'll assault giant fortifications in epic battles. They'll have to gain alliances with kings and legendary Vikings, and they'll be faced with some very harsh choices as the leader of a community. Along with that, where we've reinvented combat to be visceral, brutal, tons of enemy variety, dual-wielding weapons. We have a new, fresh take on player progression, gear, and weapon systems. We're effectively pushing every single envelope to deliver this incredible Viking fantasy.
All of this is just music to my ears. Thank you so much. So This whole show, we've been talking about the Xbox Series X. We're talking about next gen. So as a creative director, as someone creating a huge epic game, how do you take advantage of this new hardware?
Well, Assassin's Creed has always been committed to new technologies in order to push the most immersive experiences we possibly can. And so to have something like incredibly fast loading times means that we can remove some of that friction from the immersion and create a game that's much more immersive. Norway and Dark Ages England are breathtaking living worlds. So to be able to push them further to their incredible potential, this is really wonderful for us. It's wonderful for our players. And additionally, I'm very happy to confirm that we are also offering smart delivery, which allows you to purchase the game once and play it on your Xbox One and the Xbox Series X.
That is great news, I think, for all the Assassins fans out there. They'll be able to enjoy it on the hardware they have now, maybe on the hardware that they are looking forward to getting later this year. Thank you so much, Ashraf Ismail, for joining us and for sharing the very first details on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I cannot wait to see more.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
We have seen so many great games today showcasing gameplay for Xbox Series X. So let's go to Malik right now with Robert Karp from Codemasters to talk Dirt 5.
All right, everyone. Just a few minutes ago, you saw the reveal trailer of Dirt 5.
Thank you, Nero.
I kind of was left speechless, but I'm going to have to get it together here because we're going to dive even deeper into everything. Right now, we have Robert Karp, who is Dirt 5's development director, in the driver's seat to talk about what's next for the series. Robert, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you, Malik?
I'm doing great. Excited to dive into this. Now, Dirt 5, obviously the newest game in the series. Let's start with locations because kind of the backdrop is kind of important for a racing game. So where are we going to be going in Dirt 5?
So you saw from the trailer, we had New York, then we went to China, and then we went to Norway. We've got lots more environments than that. Each of the environments are bespokely created based in real worlds for the tracks and the event types that we play in there. So for New York, for example, you saw us racing over the East River when it was frozen in winter, but you can play in New York in the summer and spring and autumn.
Flip that shot.
And there you'll be able to race along Roosevelt Island on a couple of different tracks. That gives you
How you doing, Pirate?
experience. After that, we go to Brazil,
Neuro,
Favelas and Christ the Redeemer. We have tracks in Europe and Italy and Arizona. So there's really a really wide range of tracks with a really colorful and wide different color palette.
Okay, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna turn them down because I'm not super worried about Dirt. I'm assuming if they're talking about this, they're not showing anything else that's big and new. So
some of the cars that we're going to be able to jump into.
We have one of the widest ranges.
Okay, I mean, what I thought this was gonna be was more just like a few highlights of games. I think the Yakuza thing's a pretty big deal. The Assassin's Creed, I mean, gameplay, I mean, it's in, in-game cinematic, yeah, there are. I think they overplayed that hand a whole lot. That it should have. I thought it was gonna be like even just like a little 5-minute like actual gameplay clip, because they should have that available at this point. But it wasn't. That's fine. I mean, so the way this sounds like it's gonna play out is this month was this kind of getting things started. In June, I suspect, is when they're going to announce the console release date and price, as well as probably some other stuff. And then July is supposed to be like the Xbox Game Studio show, where I assume we'll see Halo Infinite for the first time, probably Hellblade 2, and then I assume things that we haven't seen yet. I think that July one is going to be the most important because I really think from a hardware and a messaging and a kind of game, just kind of the universe or the whatever of Xbox, they've done a really good job so far. But at the end of the day, they probably aren't going to have a Last of Us 2. They're not going to have probably most of these, like, really, they're going to have to start some things from scratch. They could have a Fable reboot. There's games that they could bring in and reboot them and get, some credit from that. But there's going to need to be a few brand new things. They've rumored Perfect Dark coming back. So we'll have to see about that. I assume there's going to be another Gears. I'm assuming there's a new Forza. The Everwild is a game I'm really interested in. I think Rare is doing that. The Outer Worlds 2, I hope they at least like hint to that, even though it probably shouldn't come out for a few more years. So yeah, okay. Cool. They said it was gonna be less than an hour, so I assume they're gonna do dev interviews until it's over, and we'll go from there. I was kind of hoping that with the Ubisoft deal, they were gonna show like Valhalla, whatever, and then show like, and these are all the games that will be Series X enhanced ready on day one, and have like Siege and Division 2 and even Odyssey, and so I'm kind of surprised. I assume Ubisoft is going to have their own show next month, probably. I don't know if they've announced that yet. If someone else knows, then let me know. Where I assume they're going to announce more about Valhalla. Hopefully a bunch of these games that got delayed from Ubisoft. I think like that Skull and Bones game is probably canceled at this point. I can't imagine they're going to keep doing that. I really hope that whatever Red Storm is working on gets announced. I have some theories, but we'll see. I've had some theories that it's related to a game they already know well. But the more I see them talk about what it seems like the people on that team are done with Division 2. So I'll be curious to see what they're working on right now, and I'll be excited to see that. So I suspect that June is going to be pretty exciting for gaming in general. The whole idea of no E3 where there isn't like this like focused week is going to be weird if you're someone who follows gaming and such. So I'll be glad to have Red Storm lead for it. Yeah, I definitely personally would love to see Red Storm take like Ghost Recon back, or even do like a Rainbow Six Vegas, like a reboot of that. I wouldn't hate if, bear with me here, if Red Storm took Division over. Massive worked on a new World and Conflict game and their Avatar game. Red Storm does Division 3 and makes it like a spiritual successor to Ghost Recon Future Soldier. That's like my perfect scenario. Not that I don't want Massive to work on Division 2 or Division. It's their baby. But part of me thinks that game, if that franchise is going to keep coming, it may need some big changes. And Massive has just been putting out so much information about World of Conflict. I find it really hard to believe that there's not something, even if it's a reboot maybe of World of Conflict or like a remaster. But I suspect it would be a whole new game, would be my guess. But I don't know. So, but yeah, Red Storm, back to their Clancy roots, to lead a game, I think would be cool. If you look at their catalog, them being assigned a relatively small part of a game is, I don't want to say it's insulting, but it's I would argue it's beneath them if you look at their catalog. And I highly suspect that some of the issues we've had with PvP in Division 2, I know a lot of people blame them for that. But I suspect they were kind of hamstrung, either by the genre or by the design of the game from other people or something, because they can do PvP. Their catalog, they have a lot of great PvP games. How many people are still left on the team from those days? I think it's actually quite a few, but maybe not. I don't know. So